Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming. So some Sunday deals for you. Everything in this video is at least 90% off Steam and GOG. So let's get started. First with a big surprise, Borderlands 3 is 90% off. So came out in 2020, has been given away free on Epic by the way. But yeah, it is very cheap now. 90% off, $6, 300 in India, 5 in the UK, 8 in Canada, 6 in the Eurozone. Next we have Metro Exodus, so I've already covered this, so I won't go into detail, but all the three Metro games are 90% off all three of them are 90% off, and the complete bundle is 92% off. XCOM 2 is 90% off. This is frequently 92% off the base game. So if you are a fan or if you're curious about checking this out, $149 isn't bad. And if you are getting the bundle or the Ultimate Collection, everything is 90+% off. Next we have Gear.Club Unlimited 2 Ultimate Edition. Now this is an interesting one. Back in the 2000s there was a game series called Test Drive Unlimited. This is made by the same developer but a different publisher, Microids this time. And this game was initially available only on the Switch, then it got ported to PC. I don't know what the situation is in terms of patching and updating, but reviews are mostly positive and it's very cheap. So here in India it's only 100 rupees, 105, 249 in the UK and the US, £2 in the UK, 3 in Canada, 249 in the Eurozone. I was a big fan of Test Drive Unlimited, so I may get it. I may have already bought it, I don't know. But yeah, this is a little more arcadey, not as realistic as some of the other Forza games. And of course, as it was on the Switch. But who knows, it could actually be fun. Next is Gravel, so another off-road racing game, but with a slight twist. Many years ago, I made a video about the demo, which surprisingly got a lot of views for some reason. But this is an off-road game where you are like a contestant in a TV show, and each track and each event is like a different episode. Lots of cars, off-roading game, came out in 2018. I don't know what the licensing situation is, but it's not expensive. Main game is 90% off, $149, $2, and you have all these cars which are also kind of cheap. Some of them are free, so you could just get them. It wasn't a bad game from what I recall. Next is Ultimate Fishing Simulator. So back in the old days when there was these Sega games, there used to be the Ultimate Bass Fishing or whatever it was. I played a little bit of those games and I remember them to be a bit of fun. Now these are a little more realistic. So yeah, if you are a fan of these things, it's again a very cheap game over here. 88 rupees only, $2, 167 in the UK, 259 in Canada, 2 in the Eurozone. Next is Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. So it seems to be on sale all the time. So there was a first Yooka-Laylee game which was a first person, or let's say 3D platformer. That didn't work out well. So the sequel, they made it into more of a 2.5D type stuff. And this actually works better. People liked it a lot more. And yeah, it looks pretty nice and colorful as well. So 90% off, $224, $3, $249, $339 in Canada, 3 in the Eurozone. And then we have Aven Colony, another game that seems to be on sale all the time. City builder, where you are on an alien planet called Aven Prime, and you have to build your civilization over there. A slightly more futuristic look to this, has mostly positive reviews. $224 in India, $3, $249 in the UK, $379 in Canada, 3 in the Eurozone. Now moving on to GOG, we have a game called Bear With Me, the complete collection. Now this is kind of interesting. There is this girl and apparently she has a walking talking teddy bear who's like a noir style detective, and they do stuff together. Episodic nature, I believe, this one. So yeah, very unusual game. Only 74 cents, and this is 95% off. Next we have Driftland the Magic Revival. So another 4X strategy style game where you are like a mage and you have to, do stuff as you do in the 4X strategy style games, but with a sort of magic twist, let's say. Instead of like a warrior or something, you are a mage. And this is $119, 94% off. Then we have American Fugitive. So yesterday I played the demo of a game called The Precinct, which was a sort of top-down 80s style police drama type game. This is in the same perspective like the old GTA games, GTA 1 and 2. and I found this quite enjoyable when I played it a few years ago. And so yeah, if you want something GTA style but in the top-down format, check this out. Fun game. 90% off, $2. Amnesia Rebirth. So this game is, I think, third in the Amnesia series. They seem to have made several games and the prices dropped quite a lot. This one is a fairly recent game from 2020. It's already 90% off, $3 over here. So if you like the previous ones, Machine for Pigs, I don't remember the first one, what it was called. I can't remember, but yeah, $3 for this. All of them are 90% off, by the way. One of my favorite 2D shooters is Fury Unleashed, and this is also 90% off. Has co-op, very colorful art style, and you are playing as like a soldier commander type person in a comic book. And so you have to go through the panels of the comic book from the top left to bottom right, and once you complete a chapter, you face the boss. So it's laid out like a comic book page, and yeah, it's quite fun, very colorful. Controls were very good with the guns and different weapons and shooting and throwing grenades. I just enjoyed this game quite a lot. So 90% off, $199. Freedom Fighters, tactical third-person shooter from the early 2000s, made by the developers of the Hitman games. Again, mentioned it many times. This got reintroduced, let's say relisted on digital stores recently after IO Interactive split from Square Enix, so it came back. So it's good to see this again. I had a good time with this game as well. And also the Hitman games, they seem to be on sale pretty much every day of the year. And I've picked one, but all 4 or 5 of the early ones are on sale. So Codename 47, this one Silent Assassin, Contracts, Blood Money, Absolution, all of them are 90% off. This one is only 89 cents. This is the one that got me into the Hitman series. Absolutely love this game. So I remember hearing about this game a while ago, like 20 years ago or something. And this was like a game where you're solving a murder mystery, something like that. And it's not really one of those action type games. It's more of a interactive story type game, let's say. And yeah, but I've heard great things about this one. So if you're in the mood for something like this, this is 90% off, 79 cents. Only there is a sequel, but I don't think the sequel was well received. But this one, the original game was good. And then finally, we have a game called Vambrace Cold Soul. Now, this is basically a Darkest Dungeon type of game. Like it plays very similarly. Your characters like in 2D on one side, enemies on the other side. It has a bit of a story. This is made by the same people who made the games you may have heard of, the Coma Recut, that game. Same developers, so it's got that anime style. I have actually played this. It's okay. It's much easier than Darkest Dungeon, but yeah, it has an interesting story. And if you are a fan of Darkest Dungeon or the Coma, let's say, you could check this out. So this is 90% off, $249. So that's it for the 90% of these. There are a lot more games that are 90% off, but I wanted to keep the video at a reasonable length. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next time.